It's time for Rebel Sports on mylocalradio.com and 98.3 KADQ. Rebel Sports is brought to you by Rocky Mountain Power, Ready, Rich School District, Town of Randolph, Evanston Regional Hospital, Come On In, Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, T7 Propane, Station on Main, Stacy's Repair, Ellingford Brothers, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, Bear Lake Realty, Independent Software Solutions, Jimmy John's, Dr. McKay Frankum, Crawford Trough, Woodruff Corner Store, Our Bakery, Mound Valley Cattle Company, and the town of Garden City.
Welcome to all of our listeners out there. We are about ready for the second matchup of the day, and this is the fifth place game as the Lady Rebels fight to finish in the top 5 down here at the 1A state tournament in Richfield, Utah. And the foe that is coming up are the Monument Valley Cougars. How about said Mountain View? Same color scheme. Monument Valley Cougars are the team that we'll be playing today, and this is the Ellingford Brothers pregame show. We're going to go through some of the interviews that were aired earlier today. We've got a few minutes before opening tip. But before we get to that, just an update on the tournament down here. We've got some great matchups coming up in the championship rounds later today. Coach, we've got in 1A, it just got confirmed. We just watched Manila beat Valley. So it'll be Manila versus Panguitch later today. Go Mustangs.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a great matchup tonight. Manila looked really good today against Valley. Won in 3 sets to 1. So I think that championship game against Panguitch is going to be a really, really good one.
That takes place at 6 o'clock tonight in 2A. A huge matchup we just watched get set up. It'll be North Sevier versus North Summit, and that is 2 very good volleyball teams that will be playing against each other in that one. Yeah,
that's going to be a fun one as well. Both those teams are really good. It's going to be a even matchup between those two, so that's going to be some good volleyball between those two.
Go Braves. We're not biased at all. We will go to break. When we come back, we will continue with our pregame show. This is a pregame show brought to you by the Ellingford Brothers and Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Thank you to our sponsors for making this happen. We'll be back after this. Thank you to all those listening on 98.3 KDQ FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. You always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
I am here with Leah Peterson, part of our Standout Student segment. Leah is the daughter of Troy and Tanya Peterson. She lives in Garden City and is an integral part of the volleyball team this year. And Leah, how are you feeling about this big weekend coming up?
There's definitely a lot of pressure, but I'm very excited because the team has definitely had a rough start in the beginning of the season, but throughout the season we have just gone a lot better and are starting to click a lot more, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, and Leah, let's talk about that because, the beginning of the season was a rocky start. Most of you had new positions, or some of you had not played varsity in any capacity yet, and you older ones kind of had to carry the load. What was the turning point that helped you guys to really find that chemistry and start getting those wins, like the 2 big Tabiona wins? What led to that?
So we had a game against Grace, and it was definitely a better school. And one of the sets, we switched something up with our setters and our like back row, and I don't know really why, but that definitely helped us a lot because we ended up um, getting like a set from them, and then from there we've had a lot more wins, and we just been more on a streak. So whatever we changed that day just really helped us a lot.
Definitely, because the next day is when you had that big road win against Taviona in 5, and yeah, I agree with you. Ever since then, even in the losses to the bigger schools like North St. Pete, North Summit, and Emory, you guys have looked awesome. And what do you feel like needs to happen this weekend? Because you guys have a really great opportunity, and I honestly feel like you have just as good a chance as anyone to go down there and make some noise. But it's going to be a tough road, starting with Taviona and then having the number 1 seed Valley the next game. What needs to happen for you guys to be able to have a good run down at state?
Definitely depends on our attitudes and whether we just really talk to each other. Because when we communicate the whole time, just lift each other up the whole time, we play our best games. And I would definitely say when we attack the ball, because some of our harder games is when we were tipping, and that just wasn't good. And our better games like Taviona, we were attacking and swinging the ball every time, and that definitely helped a lot.
You've had a great year, Leah. It's been fun to watch it. Do you play club volleyball in the off season?
I'm going to try out next year, but right now I just have a coach that I work with during the off season.
Cool, and that's what I wanted to ask you. It seems that you have gone all in on volleyball, which is awesome. You'll be doing it in the off season this winter. What makes it? What do you love about volleyball to make it so that you want to dedicate all of your time to it?
I feel like volleyball, you can definitely bond more as a team rather than basketball, and there's a lot more to get excited about. And then your teammates, it's just very easy to get excited and celebrate with your teams after each point.
So you just love the atmosphere and the flow of the game in volleyball.
Yes.
Leah, let's segue into school and how things are going there. You're a junior this year. You've got one more year to go. What are your plans after high school? I know you've like I just said, you've got one more year to go, but what are your plans after high school at this point in time?
I do want to try playing at a college with volleyball because I've been working really hard for it, so it would be very fun to go and play somewhere. And just get like a small degree or something like that.
Yeah, you've had 2 siblings go and play sports at the next level, so I'm sure that's had a big impact that you've seen that it is possible. I mean, a lot of times smaller school, we limit ourselves to think that, that's it. But you've seen just in your own family, 2 sisters that have gone on to play at the next level. Well, Leah, that's awesome. And I always end our segments with, who is a teacher that has had an impact on you the last 3 years at Rich High School that you don't have to choose a favorite or anything, but one teacher in particular thus far that's had a positive impact on your life?
I would have to say Lex Cornea. He just gives lots of great life advice, and if you ever need him, he's always willing to give you his best opinions and advice. But I also have to say Cody Lundgren as well. They are always open to listening, and they will give you their best opinions.
Well, that's awesome, Leah. Well, good luck this weekend. You've had a great year. I'm sure this weekend's going to be great for you guys, and proud of how you guys have overcome so much this year. And it's only going to go up from here, right? I mean, this is a good build up for your senior year as well.
Yes, thank you.
We offer rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. For example, your home's heating and air conditioning system draws significant amount of electricity during certain times of the year. We offer cash back for heat pumps, which use energy-efficient technology to heat and cool your home. We also offer rebates on appliances and smart accessories like smart plugs and smart switches. Really, for anything that draws electricity in your home, we usually have some type of rebate to offer you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
When you have an emergency, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Open 24/7, the professional emergency room staff is trained for trauma, medical, cardiac, pediatric, orthopedic, and obstetric emergencies. Bear Lake Memorial is a critical access level 3 trauma center, offering immediate access to radiology, lab services, surgery, and internal medicine consults. The ER teams are well-trained professionals who are ready to act when you have an emergency. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
I'm here during our pregame show, and this is a segment I always look forward to, the Where Are They Now segment. And I've got my friend Patrick Floyd here. Patrick is a Rich High School alumni. And Patrick, thanks for taking time out of your day to chat with me about Rich High School.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Bradley.
Patrick and I went to high school for 1 year together. Patrick, you graduated in 2006, correct?
2007.
So Patrick graduated in 2007 from Rich High School. And Patrick, tell us about what's going on in your life right now, about your family. You own your own business, so tell us a little bit about that. And then we'll talk a little bit about your time at Rich High School.
Yeah, I live in Lake Town. My family, my wife and I moved back in 2013, just right after our oldest was born. And we've got 4 little people to keep us on our toes. We had our oldest Addie, and then our twin girls, and then our youngest Ethan came a couple years ago. And life's complete in that realm. Currently, we run Chad's Raspberry Kitchen. Bought that from my parents and continue to grow that, doing all the raspberry products still by hand. And then we also had the opportunity, we bought the little drive-in here in Lake Town. So we run some beaches now. We've taken that and turned it to, I'm proud to say one of the best places to eat in Bear Lake, especially in the summer. Then doing catering. I work a lot here with Bradley, doing some corporate groups and stuff in the off season. So that's my life in a nutshell. I'm either jamming or cooking somewhere.
And you do a great job at it, Patrick. Like Patrick said, he and I work a lot together. We bring groups into Bear Lake to have a fun time on retreats, and Patrick does a great job at feeding them, and he's a favorite of many. And I will agree, you've got one of the best places to eat in the summertime there at some beaches in Lake Town. So Patrick, what led you to get into the restaurant business?
Yeah, it was honestly in high school. One of my classmates, it was kind of an idea that we had floated before, graduation. And, I had, working for people here in Bear Lake, and, maybe, hey, you'll come back and put a restaurant on this piece of land or something. And then I went on my mission, came back 2 years later, and the whole world had changed over the Great Recession. So all that kind of changed. And, it was kind of a bygone idea that we had. We looked at a couple that have been leased throughout the years. And they weren't really on the table for us. We actually looked at buying the place we have now at one point, and just financially to make it work for us. And when the people who had bought it from Merlin's came to us, said, hey, we knew you were interested. Would you like to take it from us? We kind of pitched them a dream deal, and they actually went for it. And so we really couldn't back out at that point. So, I was never the restaurant guy. I was always supposed to be like the manager behind it. I'll take care of all the stuff. I'm not going to be involved with the food part, but it just didn't turn out that way. And so, I've found a good seasonality to my career, where, summertime I'm working with a bunch of, amazing youth from our high school, from Cokeville High, from other high schools around us. I get to work with these awesome youth. They're almost like little brothers and sisters to me, because I'm just as immature as they are. And then, I get to work with these corporate guys. I get to work with these, big grocery chains. And we're going to this huge fancy food show in Vegas in January to go do some nationwide coverage and see if we can get some really big customers. So I get all this seasonality to my year. And it's really nice, because about every 3 months I'm sick of it, and so I'm sick of whatever I'm doing, and it's kind of fun to the ebb and flow. But the relationships I've developed in the restaurant, especially with a lot of these youth from these high schools, honestly, feeding people is awesome. The most rewarding thing is working with a lot of these kids. There's some really fantastic kids out here.
Yeah, there are, and Patrick, that's awesome that you're having such a good experience, and with that seasonality, being able to have such a variety going on in your life for you and your family. And so we'll back to your time at Rich High School. Patrick, what were some of the things that were highlights of your time, those 4 years at Rich High School leading up to your graduation in the spring of '07?
You know, I had really good coaches, especially like in the wrestling program. Craig Hoffman and Rick Larson took me under their wing and taught me a lot there. But even, like in basketball, Brian Thompson was an excellent person for me. He was there for me. I could lean on him and talk to him. Even when I didn't play ball, he would always come up to me and whenever he saw me and made sure I was okay. So yeah, obviously we've got a wonderful staff. We did then, we do now. I see how a lot of these teachers act, and I get to hear all the funny stories working with a lot of these high school kids of who's the good teacher, who's the bad teacher.
Yeah.
But even before that, people like Justin Grohl. Justin Grohl was a big influence in my life. And in middle school, and he wasn't in the high school, but he was a huge giant in my life and helped me out some tough situations. And, I'm grateful looking back. Rich High is not perfect, and I grumble a lot because it's not because I don't like how the high school is now. It's just that I want it to always be better. Continually to improve. And that's just how I live my life. And there's not every opportunity for our kids, but some of the missed opportunities, it's not worth what some of these other kids and other schools have to deal with.
It's a trade-off.
The trade-off is not worth it. These are great schools with staff who knows the kids by name in every grade. They're not just a number to them; they're actual human beings. So
absolutely. And talking about the staff, Patrick, I always like to end these interviews each week asking an alumni, and you've definitely touched on some great ones. Talking about Coach Grohl and Coach Larson, and is there one teacher that, and I'm sure you had a few, but one teacher that really had a positive impact on your life during those 4 years that have, you still feel that positive impact today?
We are going to cut that interview short as we are just getting underway here. Once again, the Rich High Rebels taking on the Monument Valley Cougars for the 5th place spot down here at the 1A state tournament. A little bit of background on Monument Valley. They are 16-10 this year, 6-2 in region. Those two losses came from Monticello, who we have gotten to be familiar with this morning, as that was who we beat to get into this game. So looking at their schedule and at their record, definitely not a team to sleep on. If we let this be a competitive game, it will be, but the girls have been playing well today and have the potential to really take home this 5th place spot today.
Well, and I think this is a win-win for the Lady Rebels. I mean, they came into this tournament seeded number 8. Nobody expected them to finish higher than that. So I think this is a great chance for our Lady Rebels to win the second match of the day and come away winning 3 out of 4 games down here at the state tournament, which is, I think, huge for this program.
Yep, and a big key here will be to start where they left off, having such a strong showing this morning. And we are going to start off with Monument Valley serving to the Rebels, and it's going to be number 7, Naomi White, serving across to the Rebels. And we'll get this thing going. It is best of 3, Coach. We won't be caught off guard this time. It's going to be best of 3 here in the consolation bracket to decide who is 5th place and who is 7th place today.
And again, I think a 5th place finish would be huge for these girls this year.
And there's definitely excitement and energy on that Rich Rebel side right now. The girls have definitely found their momentum today. And we are off as Naomi serves across to Smith, who gets it over to Pugmire, and Hatch will get it across. Monument Valley trying to get something going on their end. They put it back over the net to Hatch, to Corney, who sets up Pugmire, who just sets it over. And Hatch gets it over as well. Barely tipped to Smith, to Cornea. Weston, a good hit, but that is not tipped, so that'll be out of bounds. Monument Valley, the first points of this set as they are up 1-0 with Naomi White going back to the service line. Naomi White, good serve, but Argyle able to get that up to Cornea outside to Pugmire. Monument Valley keeping this one alive once again, and they just barely tip it over, and the Rebels are not ready. Monument Valley up 2-0.
That's a hard one to return. It just goes barely over the net.
Naomi White to serve again. She gets it across to the Rebels to Smith. Cornea sets up Hatch, who gets it across, and this time not returned by the Cougars. Rebels getting the ball back down, just 2-1. Coach, I can tell you right now, I like Monument Valley's coach. He is in a hoodie, flat-brimmed hat, and his hands in his pockets. I like it. I like his style over there. As Hatch serves a short one across. Monument Valley not able to handle it as it's 2 hits from the same girl. Rebels now notch it up 2-2. Brindley will serve once again, getting it across to the Rebels, or to Monument Valley. She gets it across. Monument Valley keeps it up in the air, gets it to the outside. Out of bounds. That was an attempt by number 3, Shondine Blackwater, and that was just too much as the Rebels now take the lead up 3-2 as Brindley will continue from the service line. She gets it across. Good serve, just short. Monument Valley not able to get to it as their hit goes back up into the net. Rebels up 4-2.
Brindley with 2 quick aces in this set.
She looks for number 3. She gets it across. Back to the libero for Monument Valley. Gets it up to the setter on the outside. And that is a kill for number 13, Sloan Shepard. As I said, we would love for a good, easy game for the Rebels to ride out on top, but it will not come easy against Monument Valley as it is served across to Argyle. Cornea sits at Pugmire on the outside. A good kill by Bray, and they are not able to keep that alive. 5-3 in favor of the Rebels. Bray serves it across and to Monument Valley. Back over to the Rebel side. Cornea sets up Peterson in the middle, and that is a kill for Leah. Leah having a good day today so far in this tournament as she's able to get that down and hit the ground. And Bray back to serve once again across to the Cougars. Rebels up 6-3. She gets a good serve across, but that is kept alive by Monument Valley. Tipped over to Argyle, to Cornea. And that is going to be two hits.
Two hits. Yep.
Okay, so 7-3 for the Rebels. Getting a good run here. Bray continues to be back at the service line. She gets it across, and that'll be too much. Out of bounds. Ball back to Monument Valley.
One thing we need to work on this match is our serving. Those unforced errors is something that hurts this team a little bit.
Yep, the serves have kind of haunted Coach Wasden all season long, but that was in. So Monument Valley serves what looked like it would be out, and it just drops similar to Brindley Hatch's serve last game. 7-5 in favor of the Rebels, and that's number 10, Ayana Clyde, that served it over to the Rebels, who get it back across. Monument Valley setting up on the outside. They get over. Page sets it up to Cornea, to Peterson. I believe that was in the net. Yep, that will give a point to the Rebels. 8-5 currently as it stands. And we have Chasley and Pugmire coming in for Molly, Weston, and Argyle.
Tyler serving.
Good serve across. Monument Valley does keep it upright. They get it across. Bray passes it up to Cornea, to Peterson. 2 Cougars try to get there, which they do. They get it across to Smith, to Cornea, outside to Levitt, into the net. So 8-6. And those subs will come back in as like I say, the 8-6 lead for the Rebels as number 3, Shondine Blackwater, looks to serve across to the Rebels, trying to narrow down this margin as she gets it across to Bray, to Cornea. Levitt, a good kill there off the hands of Monument Valley to give the Rebels a 9-6 lead here in the first set. Peterson comes off, and I believe Hatch comes in for her. We have Smith serving across to Monument Valley. They keep it up and get it across. Nearly a kill, but a good dig there by Levitt, who gets it across. Monument Valley tips it over once again, but it is going to be in the net once again on Monument Valley. They've shot themselves in the foot a few times, giving the Rebels a 10-6 lead here in the first set. Page serves it across, and that is out of bounds. Just like you said, Coach, those service errors have really hurt us throughout the season.
Yeah, and you just can't have those.
Yep, those are definitely something that I'm sure just grinds the gears of Coach Wasden, and that gives the ball back as number 4, Malaya Black Mountain, will serve across to the Rebels. She gets it to Weston, to Cornea, over to Levitt, and that is in. Great kill there by Chasley. Right on that back row, just before the back line. Chasley having a great tournament so far. Molly that was Tess with the serve just over the net. Good serve. She sets up Pugmire, and that is out of bounds. I need to adjust my score. It's actually 12-7. 12-7 in favor of the Rebels. And number 1, Kelise Tomei, will go back to serve to the Rebels. She gets it across the Page, and it does make its way over the net just outside, giving a point to Monument Valley as Tomei will go back to the service line once again. Tomei serves across. That would have been a good one, but it just catches the top of the net, giving it back to the Rebels, who take a 13-8 lead as Cassie Argyle comes in to serve for Levitt. Argyle serves it across. Good serve. Monument Valley gets it back up into the air, trying to get to the outside, but it'll go into the net. Weston there for the block, but it hits the net, and the Rebels take a 14-8 lead. Argyle again back at the service line. Gets a great ace there. Nobody moves on the Monument Valley side, and that gives the Rebels a 15-8 lead.
That was kind of a strange play. I mean, they just sat there and watched the ball hit the floor.
Yep, it just went right in between everyone. And this one goes in the net for Cassie, ending a good run that she had. 15-9, ball back to Monument Valley. Naomi White back around to serve to the Rebels. White serves it across to Smith, to Cornea, and Hatch tries to get it over and just hits the top of the net on the attempted tip. 15-10 for the Rebels. Once again, this set is very important as we're just playing best of 3. So
exactly, it's very important to win this first set.
Yes, huge. White's serve goes into the net. Rebels take a 16-10 lead. Really wanting to get this first set under their belt as Leah Peterson subs in for Paige Smith, with Brindley Hatch serving over. She gets it across. Monument Valley hits it back across. Cornea with the dig up front to Argyle, over to Weston, who tips it over to Monument Valley. They get it to the outside once again to Cornea, to Argyle, over to Pugmire, who just tips it over. Back to the Rebels again, and Cornea sets up Pugmire this time, looking for a good kill, but this time in the net. Number 13, Sloan Shepard, will be back to serve once again for Monument Valley. She gets it across to Argyle, to Cornea, setting up Pugmire again, and that will be out of bounds. Rebels now just a 4-point lead here in the first set. This is not a set that you want to give up to Monument Valley, so Rebels looking to get the momentum back on their side as Shepard is back to serve once again. She gets it over to Weston, to Cornea, who back sets to Peterson. The Cougars set it up again and get it to the outside. Argyle is there to pass it to Cornea, outside to Weston, who hits it over to Monument Valley, and they just tip it over on their first hit. Peterson trying to get there, and she does. Just over the hands of the defenders, 17-12. That's a big hit, especially if we can go on a run now here. So Pugmire back to serve. She gets it across to Monument Valley, who then put it over the net and out of bounds, 18-12 for the Rebels. And I think they might take a timeout here. Yes, they do. Monument Valley's going to talk about it. This has been a T7 Propane production of Rich High Rebel Volleyball, online at mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KDQ FM.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels.
We are back here coming out of a Monument Valley timeout as the Rebels looking to extend this lead as they are up 18-12 here in the first set. Best of three matchup for that fifth place spot as Pugmire serves it across. Good serve, but Monument Valley able to keep it alive as they get it back across the net just off the fingertips of Paige Smith in the back row. Cougars inching closer and closer, 18-13 as number 10.
Yeah, Paige just
Clyde
about
will be back there to serve.
Paige just about had that one. She was just a step short.
Clyde gets it across to Weston, not able to handle it. Coach, we talked during the break, just a lot of errors on our end going on right now.
Yeah, I feel like right now we're beating ourselves. We've made a lot of mistakes. Fortunately, we were up 4, but we need to cut down the mistakes.
And right there is going to help as Clyde serves it out of bounds. Rich now up 19-14 as Levitt and Pugmire come in for Argyle and Weston. Taylor will be back to serve. She's had a couple of good runs throughout the season. We'll see if we can get one here to help close this one out as Pugmire back to serve and into the net. So it is 19-15 for Monument Valley.
There's another one of those unforced errors. We got to cut those down.
Right. Number 3, Shondine Blackwater back to serve once again. I truly believe if the Rebels can get this first set out of the way, we'll have a good chance of just closing this out in the second set. We've got to take care of business here as we are now just up 3 as it's 19-16 in favor of the Cougars as they serve across to Pugmire. And once again, not able to get where it needs to be, nearly into the net to Cornea, right too close to the net. So now 19-17. Rebels still have the lead, but that is a diminishing lead at the moment as Blackwater serves it across to Pugmire, to Cornea, who back sets to Peterson. And Monument Valley not able to handle that one. 20-17 for the Rebels. And we are currently the only game going on the all 4 courts going on here at Richfield. We are the lone participants right now. So Paige serves it across to Monument Valley, a short serve that they handle well. They put it back across to Paige. Oh, good effort there to try to keep that alive, but it was in the net. So now it is 20-18 for the Rebels. Definitely do not want Monument Valley to go on a run here as they get the ball back as Black Mountain will serve across to the Rebels. Serve across to Weston, to Cornea, and then to Hatch. Was that tipped? No, it was not. It was out of bounds on the Rebels. 20-19, the current score. As Black Mountain will serve across again to the Rebels. That goes to Weston, to Cornea, and to Levitt. A good hit, but that is handled well by Monument Valley as they get it back across to Smith, to Cornea, who sets up Levitt again. This time blocked, but then out of bounds, I believe. That should be Rebel ball, and it is. So 21-19.
Oh, looks like they're giving it back to Monument Valley.
Huh, I thought it was blocked and then immediately out of bounds.
Oh.
So we have a 20-20 score right now as Black Mountain serves across to Pugmire, gets it over to Cornea, back to Pugmire. Monument Valley jumps to their knees but get it back across. Smith hits it up to Cornea and the outside to Levitt once again, and this time it is out of the back end, out of bounds. Monument Valley just took the lead, 21-20.
Yep, all of a sudden we're down 1 after having a 5-point lead.
But now we're serving it, so that must have been tipped.
Oh.
So, excuse me, we are up 21-20. As Cornea serves it across to Monument Valley. They get it across, and a good kill by Monument Valley right at the net. And is tied at 21. An unforeseen battle here in the first set between Monument Valley and the Rebels. As the Rebels get the serve, it's from Weston to Cornea to Hatch, and that drops to the ground. Much needed score there, 22-21. Let's try to not give the ball back to Monument Valley for the rest of this set. As Argyle checks in to serve across to the Cougars. So Cassie looking to serve. She gets it across, and it is in.
Boy, that fell right before the line. What a great serve.
That was a great serve. Nearly out of bounds, but just perfect right before the line. 23-21 for the Rebels. Cassie, another good serve, this time short, and they have a hard time getting to it, but they do keep it alive. They hit it back across to Smith, to Cornea, who sets up Hatch in the middle. And they get it back across to Cornea, to Smith, outside to Pugmire. Great kill.
Great kill by Braylon.
Make a note of that one for a potential play of the game. That was a great kill. Textbook right there. She hits him in that back corner. A lot of power behind that one. As Cassie continues to serve, trying to close this one out as this is set point, and there it is. 25-21 for the Rebels. That was too close for comfort there for a minute, but the Rebels able to close this thing out, moving on to potentially the final set for 5th place. We're going to go to a break. This has been the T7 production of Rich High Lady Rebel Volleyball, online at mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KDQ FM.
WattSmart is Rocky Mountain Power's energy efficiency program. WattSmart provides rebates to residential customers for energy efficiency upgrades made around the home. Devices and appliances that use electricity in your home can usually be made more efficient, and that can save you money and energy. When you decide to make upgrades, we have rebates available for you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
When you're hungry for an amazing breakfast, just like Grandma used to make, visit our bakery on Main Street in Randolph. We hand make fresh pastries for you to enjoy. Supporting the Rich Rebels and thanking you for your business, visit our bakery today.
Randolph Medical Clinic is known for comfortably treating acute and chronic conditions as well as mental health. Nurse practitioner Nancy Weston is known for providing compassionate care. Appointments can be made by texting 435-200-5416. Randolph Medical Clinic.
Supporting local schools, Eddie.
We are back as we reset this scoreboard and start the second set. Coach, what are some things we need to improve on? That wasn't the cleanest, prettiest win.
No.
We did get it done in the first set, but what needs to be different here?
We did not play very well that first set. We need to clean up a little bit on our passing. I felt like we got out, played a little bit at the net. So we just got to play a lot cleaner this second set. I thought there was too many errors on our part.
Well, and we talked at the break, you know, we're definitely the better team here. We just need to play how we play. Sometimes you let your competition dictate the pace of the game, the level of play of the game, and we allowed that to happen at some points in that first set. This time, hopefully the Lady Rebels just come out how they are able to play. The team we saw earlier against Monticello, let's have that team come out and close this one out.
Yeah, and I think we just got to keep the momentum going. We had a big lead there, and then we let it slip away. I think they even came back and took a 1-point lead, right?
Yes, they did.
So we can't let that happen. Once you get the lead, you got to maintain that. And
the Rebels will start with serving, and is it Brindley Hatch that's – we can never see the server on our side, but I believe it's Brindley that would be back there serving.
Yeah, it looks like Brindley.
So for Cassie Argyle and Brindley Hatch entering the potentially final set of their high school careers, they've done a great job this year, and hopefully they can close this one out here for the next 25 points. Brindley does serve it across. Monument Valley able to keep it alive, and they get it back across to Argyle, to Cornea, setting up Leah Peterson, and that is in the net on Monument Valley, giving the Rich Rebels the first point of this set. And as you said, Coach, hopefully a lot more aggression at the net compared to the first set, and we saw it there as Monument Valley went into the net. Hatch serves it across to Monument Valley. They do put it across. Weston gets it back across. Monument Valley on the outside hits it across. Cornea sets up Pugmire.
Looks like we had somebody in the net.
So in the net on the Rebels. That will tie this one up at 1. As Hatch comes out, Paige Smith goes in, and number 13, Sloan Shepard, back to serve. She does get it across to Weston, to Cornea, setting up Pugmire on the outside. Good kill there by Bray. She's had a couple good ones today so far.
Yep.
Rebels take a 2-1 lead as Bray goes back to the service line. Bray serves it across to Monument Valley, and they cannot handle that. So a back-to-back kill and ace for Bray as she looks to have a good run here for the Rebels as they are now up 3-1.
That really was a great serve.
Bray serves across again, another good serve. This time it is handled by Monument Valley as they get it back across to the Rebels. A battle at the net that Monument Valley will win, giving them a point, 3-2.
That just dropped right in between 3 of our players.
Yep, that was good ball placement by Monument Valley. I believe that was number 11, Samara Shepard. And now number 10, Ayana Cly, will serve to the Rebels. Serve across to Weston, to Cornea, and to Peterson, and it is too much as the Rebels now find themselves tied early on here with the Cougars. Clyde back to serve once again. Tied ball game at 3 to Argyle, to Cornea, up to Peterson, and this time it is in. Great kill there for Leah, giving the Rebels a lead here in the second set. Argyle and Weston coming out for Levitt and Pugmire as Pugmire will go back to serve.
That was Leah's 4th kill of the game.
Tyler serves across to Monument Valley. They do keep it alive and get it back across to Pugmire, to Cornea, to Levitt. And that will be a kill for Chaisley. She dropped it right in front of that back row position. Rebels up 5-3. Pugmire back to serve once again. She gets it across. Monument Valley keeping it to the outside. Good hit, but good pass by Pugmire up to Cornea. Chaisley gets it across. Monument Valley looking to put something together here, and they do. Good initial block by the Rebels front row, but it does fall to the ground. Still a 1-point game, 5-4 for the Rebels.
Yeah, Chaisley was up there for that block, and that just got barely over her outstretched fingertips.
So Blackwater back to serve. She's had a few good serves today. She gets across to Bray, to Smith, and to Weston. They just barely get it across. Monument Valley looking to score another point, but to Cornea, to Chaisley. Good kill by Chaisley right off the hands again of Monument Valley, 6-4 for the Rebels. That is Chaisley's 4th kill of the game. Page back to serve. Monument Valley barely returns it back over to the Rebels as Page puts it up to Cornea. Outside to Levitt once again. Monument Valley does keep this alive. They put it to the outside once again. Across to Weston, to Cornea, and to Pugmire from the back row. I believe that is in. Great kill by Bray once again. 7-4.
Boy, Bray's playing well this match.
Yes, she is. How many kills is that for her?
That is 4.
4 kills for Bray today as Page gets it across. Monument Valley trying to get it back across, and it'll be into the net. Rebels take an 8-4 lead. If they can get this momentum going, this thing will be over quickly. Monument Valley wants a timeout. We will take one as well. This has been a T7 Propane production of Lady Rebel Volleyball on mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KADQ FM.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. You always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today, 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
We are back as the Lady Rebels take the floor again, leading the Monument Valley Cougars 8-4. Coming out of this timeout, both teams looking to make adjustments, and it will be Paige Smith back to serve once again. She does get it across. A great ace by Paige.
Boy, that was a great serve.
Just right in the middle of traffic. It dropped right where it needed to be. 9-4 for the Rebels. All Paige needs to do is have 16 straight, and this thing's over. As she gets another good serve across. Oh, that is a miscommunication by Monument Valley, but they are able to get it across. Hatch tips it over, and I believe that is in the net. Yep, that was in the net on Monument Valley, so that gives the Rebels a point, 10-4. Paige gets it across to the libero. Monument Valley gets to the outside, and this time that is not able to be handled by the Rebels right off the hand of Molly Weston. 10-5 for Monument Valley. Number 12, Cly will be back to serve to the Rebels. Rebels up 10-5 currently. She gets it across to Bray, to Cornea. Hatch puts it across, back corner. Great kill there by Brindley. Rebels are now up 11-5 with Tess Cornea going to the back to serve. That was great ball placement by Brindley, that back corner.
Yeah, it really was.
Tess serves it across. Monument Valley looking to set something up on the outside. That is blocked by Bray. Hits the hand of a Cougar and out of bounds, giving the Rebels the point.
Yeah, great block there at the net.
That was textbook as Tess back to serve once again. She gets it across. Monument Valley to try once again to hit it over. They do to Page, to Cornea, to Hatch. Monument Valley trying to get it back over, and they will to Hatch, to Cornea, outside to Bray once again. A great kill. Great kill.
Looks like she was in the net, though.
Is that what they're going to call? So
yep.
In the net. Great kill taken away from Bray there, just barely in the net. As Monument Valley will serve, and that'll be number 1, Kalissa Tomei, back to serve to the Rebels, who currently find themselves up 12-6, just 13 points away from closing out the season with a 5th-place finish. Cornea sets up Chasley, and there's a ball on the floor once again, so this will be blown dead. A reserve for Monument Valley.
Boy, sometimes that ball coming on the court is a momentum breaker.
It really is. Tomei gets it across to Smith, to Cornea. Hatch just barely tips it over. It almost works as Monument Valley tries to get it over once again. Hatch keeps it alive to Cornea, to Pugmire. Monument Valley now trying to get it back over, and they do, to Weston, to Cornea, outside to Pugmire, and that will, good effort by Monument Valley to keep that one alive.
That was a good recovery.
Cornea gets it to Hatch in the middle, partially blocked by Monument Valley. They will put it back over from the outside. Pugmire there for the pass to Cornea, to Hatch, who gets it over. Monument Valley now gets it back across to Weston, to Cornea, setting up Pugmire on the outside, and there it is.
Good job, Bray.
Good effort on both sides, but Bray able to get a good kill there.
That was quite the rally right there.
Yes, it was. Cassie Argyle coming in for Chaseley Levitt to serve. She takes her place back at the service line. Rebels up 13-6, make that 13-7 as that serve goes into the net, giving the ball back to Monument Valley as Naomi White will serve across to the Rebels. White gets it across to Smith, to Cornea, setting up Pugmire once again. That was a good hit, but just a little bit too much as that goes out of bounds. 13-8.
As Bob Euchre says, that was just a little bit outside.
Yeah, that was a little bit outside. So Naomi White serves it again, but this time into the net. Rebels go up 14-8. As Brindley Hatch will go to the service line, try to go on a run here and extend this lead. Hatch gets it across, barely passed, and that will be into the net. So a good serve there by Brindley. Monument Valley was able to get a dig there, but it was into the net. So Brindley will serve across again. Good short serve. They're not able to handle that again. 16-8. Brindley has their number right now.
Yep, 2 aces in a row for her.
Would be a great way to end her volleyball career, getting a few more here. Good serve once again this time. Monument Valley is able to set something up. They get it back across the net to Cornea, to Pugmire. Boom, another ace. Another kill for Bray as that hits the floor in that back corner. Rebels up 17-8. Monument Valley making a substitution here. Rebels are on a roll, looking to close this one out. Hatch serves again. Monument Valley gets it to the outside. They hit it across, and that is just out of bounds. 18-8. Rebels take a 10-point lead. Well, excuse me, it's 18-9. I have to adjust my score there. So that was in. So 17-9.
Well, I think they called it out, Bradley. So
17-9 as Monument Valley serves across to Weston, to Cornea, and to Pugmire, which is in the net, which will now make it 17-10 for the Rebels as 13 Sloan Shepherd will continue to serve across to the Rebels. She does so as it goes to Weston, to Cornea, back to Weston. Passed forward by Monument Valley, and they get it back across to Weston, to Cornea, back sets to Pugmire, and that is a double hit, it looks like. So that will give Monument Valley another point, 17-11. Shepherd back to serve once again to the Rebels. She gets it across to Smith, to Cornea, setting up Peterson in the middle, just off the hand of Blackwater as it hits the ground. Rebels now up 18-11. So Bray Pugmire back to serve. She gets it across. Monument Valley trying to get it back across the net, which they do, to Pugmire, to Cornea, who just sets it over on the second hit. Monument Valley now getting it back over to Cornea. Smith to Cornea to Peterson, and that will be an in the net, it looks like.
Not sure which Lady Rebel was in the net, but
sure have been a lot of errors this game.
Yep.
So now that will bring our score 18-12. Monument Valley not going down quietly. They are trying to get back into this thing as number 10, Cly, will go back to serve to the Rebels.
Yep, they were down 10. Now they've clawed their way back to 6.
She serves across to Weston, to Cornea, back to Weston, who gets a hit, but that is returned by Monument Valley, but it'll be out of bounds, hitting the candy cane stick is what I call it. So that'll be just a bit out of bounds. there was a collision there between a Monument Valley player and the ref's podium, and she is down. So there are not a lot of injury timeouts in volleyball.
Nope.
But we've got one right here. Hopefully she's okay. She did make a great effort to get outside to return that ball, but did have a collision with the reffing podium.
Yeah, she was going full speed when she hit that podium there.
We'll go to a quick break while she's attended to. Hopefully she's okay. This is a T7 Propane and Station on Main production of Rich High Rebel Volleyball. We'll be back right after this.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in industrial construction and support services since 1982. From insulation and scaffolding to paintings and coatings, our crews are standing by to assist with new construction, maintenance projects, facility shutdowns, and more. Contact us today to ensure your assets are protected and functional. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
We are back as Dakota Cly is being attended to after that collision with the ref's podium. The Rebels currently up 7, 19-12, so the Rebels just 6 points away from closing the season out, taking the 5th place finish home. Yeah, we hope that this Monument Valley Cougar is okay after that hard collision.
Yep, she's still laying on the court. She definitely took a good hit. It's a good thing those podiums are padded.
Yep, exactly. So this does give a chance for both teams to reassess what they have going on, see what needs to happen. Just a reminder, with this being a consolation game, it is best of 3. So the Rebels have won 1 set. If they win 2 sets, it's over. Monument Valley looking to extend this to that 3rd set. But the Rebels playing better in this 2nd set. Still a lot of errors on both sides, but the Rebels, as we say, 6 points away from closing this one out.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an injury in volleyball where she is still on the floor, has not gotten up yet.
Yep, this is very different from most other sports. Football happens all the time. Basketball, definitely more frequent than volleyball. But yeah, this is definitely not something you usually see happening in volleyball.
Well, and that was a strange injury. Looks like they're trying to get her to sit up.
Once again, for you diehard volleyball fans, later today, the 1A, well, the 2A championship will be first. That's at 4 o'clock between North Summit and North Sevier. I believe North Sevier is the number 1 seed, playing the number 2 seed, North Summit, in 2A. And then on the 1A end, number 2 Panguitch playing number 4 Manila at 6 o'clock. And Dakota Cly carried off the court there as play is about to resume. So it seems like her leg is what got injured on that collision with the mat there.
Yeah, she couldn't put any weight on that leg, so they physically picked her up and carried her off the court. Hope she's going to be okay.
So number 5, Leanne Atene, will be the substitute coming in for Cly as we are about underway once again. And as a reminder, Rebels up 19-12 currently. And Pugmire is in to serve to Monument Valley. And here we go, back live once again. Monument Valley just making some quick rotational adjustments. And here we go. They are given the whistle to serve across, which we do. Good serve to get across. Monument Valley keeps it alive, gets it on the outside. Smith, a good dig there to Pugmire, to Peterson. Monument Valley gets it to the outside once again. A quick set over to Pugmire. Cornea quickly sets it over. Chaisley kills it down, but number 3 from Monument Valley did a great job keeping it alive while she was on her back. And Peterson gets it across to Monument Valley. Definitely a back and forth match going on right now as Pugmire gets it to Cornea to Chasey on the outside, and this time she's able to get a good kill right off the fingertips of those blockers for Monument Valley, giving the Rebels a point, now up 20-12.
All we need is 5 more points, Bradley.
5 points and this thing's over. Good serve there by Pugmire. And the Monument Valley tries to keep it alive, but they cannot get it back across. 21-12 here late in the second set.
Great ace there by Tyler. She does a great job serving the volleyball.
Yes, she does. She will go once again here. Monument Valley able to keep this one alive just to the outside. Cornea sets up Chaisley. Great kill by Chaisley on that back corner. Her and Bray have had some great kills today.
And a shout out to Tess. She's made some great sets today.
Yep, she's had a great year this year. She just flies all over the court, and once again we saw it there. So I just got a picture of that injury. Definitely a very bad sprained ankle at a minimum as that hit that ref's podium. Cornea setting up Peterson in the middle, and it looks like we have a double hit here. So that ball will be given back to the Cougars, who now are down 22-13. Rebels trying to close this one out as number 3, Shondine Blackwater, back to serve to the Rebels. She gets it across, but that is into the net. Rebels just 2 away from being the 5th place team here at state tournament. And once again, we talked about it in our post-game show. Shout out to this group of girls for hanging in there through a tough season, and they are going to end up being a top 5 finisher down here at state. Is that ball just dropped to make it 24-13 unless they're giving it back.
I'm not sure what the call was there.
Even the gym in here had to switch the score around. So 23-14 is the current score as number 5, Leanne Atenane, serves it across to Weston to Cornea, who sets up Hatch. Monument Valley sends it immediately back over to Weston to Cornea to Hatch again. That is tipped. Monument Valley tips it back over again to Smith to Cornea to Hatch, who just gets it over. Monument Valley once again trying to keep this thing alive, and they put it into the net. So that was a back and forth battle. Rebels up 10 with set point and game point here with Tess Cornea going back to the service line. We'll see if she can get an ace to finish this season out. She will get it across. Monument Valley keeps it alive. They put it over. Tess tried to keep it alive with that pass, but is just out of bounds. 24-15 currently in this matchup between the Rich High Rebels and the Monument Valley Cougars. So number 1, Calissa Tomei back in to serve for Monument Valley. Rebels just need 1 more point to finish this game. Tomei serves it across, and that's going to go out of bounds, and that is it. That is all she wrote. 25-15 is the final as the Rich High Rebels close out the 2024 season as the number 5 team at the state tournament. As you said, Coach, coming in ranked number 8. They go win some good games here and end up as the 5th place team.
Yeah, they should be very proud of themselves coming in as number 8. Beat Tabby the first game, lose to a very good Valley team, then come back this morning and win 2 matches here. Very proud of these girls.
Yep, they had a great tournament and definitely setting the tone for next year, which we'll talk about when we come back. But this has been a T7 Propane production. We'll be back with the Independent Software Solutions post-game show. Thank you for listening online on mylocalradio.com and on 98.3 KDQ FM.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
fast, fresh, delicious. 3 words that describe your experience every time you enjoy a delicious meal with Jimmy John's. Utilizing the freshest ingredients, home-baked bread, and professional sandwich building skills, the team at Jimmy John's always delivers a mouth-watering sandwich to satisfy any hunger. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast, freaky fresh. Visit any of our locations today in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette.
We are back at the conclusion of this final game for the Rich High Rebels of the 2024 season, and it is time for our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. The Rebels' first set able to close it out 25-21, and in the second set, 25-15. And it is a best-of-3 matchup in this consolation game, so the Rebels able to take home that 5th-place finish. And that brings us to our McKay-Frankham precision play of the game. Coach, what do you have for us?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good plays in that match, but I have to give it to Brig Lynn. She had a great set from Tess, and she put down that kill with some authority, and that just kind of broke Monument Valley's back at that point with that awesome kill that she had there.
Yeah, she had some great kills this game. She ended up with,
let's see, she had 6 kills and an ace.
And that is why we have chosen her as the player, the Crawford Trough player of the game as well. She was a force, as you say, at the net today. Helped the Rebels along to close this one out. And, you know, like we said, coming into this season, the Rich High Rebels, they had two returners that had played consistently on that second-place team from the year before. Coach Wasden graduated a lot of seniors last year, and then this year, even the 2 that returned were playing different positions. Coach knew this was going to be a process, and it was. We looked back to that match at Grace that went until like 2 in the morning. That was the game that an adjustment was made. A few adjustments were made. We acknowledged one of them, Chasley Levitt getting more involved, along with some other adjustments that really changed the course of the season. And from then on, pretty solid team, really tough matchups to end the season before state. But next year, we have a lot of returners, definitely poised to have a good season next year.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. Graduated 6 seniors last year. I mean, that's the bulk of your team. So there was a lot of adjustments that had to be made start of the year. And as everyone knows, the first part of the season was not good for the Lady Rebels. But then about mid-season, like you say, I think that Grace game turned things around, and they played much better volleyball after that. So my hat's off to the Lady Rebels. As I mentioned in the pregame, we have a lot of young girls who got a lot of experience this year, and that's really going to make our team a lot better next year, and looking forward to next year's volleyball.
So the Lady Rebels finished the year 5th place, and looking forward to many good years to come. I know that the junior high volleyball team was really good this year too, so Coach Wasden has the shelves full going forward for sure. Cassie Argyle and Brinley Hatch will be missed. They had great senior seasons, and the Rebels now will prepare for basketball. Cody Lundgren has been very excited for basketball to start. He and I talk often. He's been a good sport. He's made sure to support the volleyball team and not get over anxious for basketball to start. But, Coach, if you're listening, you now have the green light. It is basketball season officially for you, and they will start things off. I believe they play St. Joe's at home December. It's that first week of December on that Friday. Looking forward to that. But as far as our calendar update on the immediate future, so next Friday at 10 a.m., the boys, the football team, will be playing the Altamont Longhorns following Altamont's win last night against St. Joe's. The Rebels will play Altamont at 10 a.m. next Friday at the Zions Bank Stadium, which is in Harriman. And I believe, is that where the Monarchs play? What do they use there? Is that a practice field?
Yeah, I think it's, or there might be another. Yeah, I think it is the Monarchs, because the Salt Lake Real plays in
Draper.
And the Tinto Stadium. I think that is the Monarchs. It is a professional soccer field, but they use that for a football field. We played there last year in our semi game, and it's a fun field. It's a turf field. It's a very nice field. So
it's almost as nice as ours.
Almost, not quite, not quite, but almost.
They do have bleachers though. So
yes, they do.
So Rich Rebel fans, you don't have to worry about bringing camp chairs, even though I think you prefer that, to have your camp chairs and sit where you want to sit. But the Zions Bank Stadium next Friday, 10 a.m., Rebels take on the Altamont Longhorns. And on the other side of the bracket in football, after our game, it'll be Monticello versus Water Canyon. So this is a little bit flipped from last year. We had Water Canyon last year, and Monticello had Altamont. But 1 and 2 seeds are the same this year. 3 and 4 flipped this year. But looking forward to some great matchups. And across the state, things are heating up in the football world. And so keep an eye on that as the 1A 11-man is the next day at that same stadium. So thank you for all of our listeners. Thank you for your patience with me doing my first season of volleyball. I know it was painful at times for you listeners, but we got through it. And I hope that we were able to convey everything that happened this weekend down here at Richfield. Very proud of our girls, and we look forward to seeing them play next year. And thank you, and we will have you tune in next week right here on My Local Radio and 98.3 KDQ FM to some football at 10 a.m. next Friday.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this